Hello everyone, and welcome to our first segment of our Fit Fridays video series. Today we have a very special guest. He's our fitness manager at our Desert Ridge location, Jordan Guida. We are going to be asking him all the questions that you guys have submitted over the past week, so let's get started. Jordan, do you want to start with a little bit about yourself, how you found Mountainside, where you grew up, things like that?
For sure, I'd love to. Best part is I'm actually an Arizona native, born and raised. I grew up in Peoria. Loved everything there. I actually have a degree in exercise science. I went to school in Tennessee for that. Post that, I went and played professionally in baseball for a couple years as well with the Detroit Tigers, and I played up in Canada internationally.
I didn't know that.
And then when I came home, I decided I want to use my degree. What should I do? I walked into a Mountainside. I applied as a personal trainer, was hired at our Arrowhead location about 4 years ago. I loved it. It was a blast. I learned a ton. I got some really good mentoring from our corporate office and became an assistant manager and then one of the head managers now. It's been fantastic. I actually help with our Elevate program, which is our in-house certification.
Okay.
So that's something we do where we take people very fitness motivated, they enjoy fitness, and they want to learn how to be trainers. So we actually help teach them how to be a proper trainer.
Well, that's awesome. I've noticed that some of the training going on in the club. That's really cool. Yeah. How long has Elevate been going on?
It's been on for about 2 years now, but it's been totally revamped and kind of constructed in a really good outlook right now that Jeff, our regional mentor, and I have worked on together. So it's pretty awesome. We do it once a month, pretty much the second or third Friday of every month.
Okay. Very cool. Okay, are you ready to jump into some questions from our followers?
All right,
first question. How do you build a workout program?
It's a great question. I think often people will go online, they'll download a program, they'll kind of look at it and say, hey, is this good for me? And the hard part is usually it's not. Usually it's this cookie cutter setup that's really not perfect for you. Mm-hmm. How I would train myself, how I would train you or train anybody else is going to be completely different. So often it's kind of finding the right customization that'll help with these programs. And that's really we see the results. That's the biggest part, is being something that's good for you.
And that's the benefit. We offer free fitness consults for every new member, so that's probably the benefit of having that fitness consultation, seeing your body type, the kind of active lifestyle that you have.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. So take advantage of that free fitness consult if you haven't done that yet. Second question. I've heard, this is from my sister, hi Holly. I've heard mixed reviews on carbs. Will limiting carbs affect muscle growth?
Honestly, to an extent, it will. So we do need carbs. Carbs are an essential energy source that we use, but everything has to do with portion size. That's one of the biggest things. We eat a surplus of carbohydrates, we're going to gain some fat at that point. But the other issue we run into is sometimes if we don't eat enough carbohydrates, we'll actually start to burn our muscle mass. Because the body's pretty smart and it says I need fuel. So if you don't have those carbohydrates, it will go to muscle sometimes. So we actually see some loss in muscle. Okay. So they are important, but again, it comes down to customization. There's no perfect workout. There's no perfect diet.
What are your go-to carbs in your diet then?
I'm a big proponent of different rices, quinoas, the darker, the kind of the really grainier things. I use a lot of oatmeal. It's one of my favorites, but I try to avoid like the processed oatmeal. So I get the raw steel cut oats at that point.
Question offhand. Sweet potatoes.
It's one of my favorites.
Okay, because I love sweet potatoes. I love sweet potato fries. Yeah. So those are okay in
portion size.
Portion.
Yeah, exactly.
Portion control.
That's a big thing with diet. It's got to be realistic. Okay. I mean, a lot of times people want to do these so strict diets and they'll do them for 3-4 weeks and they'll cut it off and be done at that point.
Yeah.
I'd rather eat things I like within portion at that point.
Something maintainable.
Yeah, exactly. And then so like your white potatoes are a little starchier, so that's a faster energy source versus a sweet potato is a little denser, more fiber in it. It's a slower energy source. The issue we run into with sweet potatoes is when you put a ton of like butter and brown sugar on top. Yeah, that's not
ketchup.
A good one. Ketchup's okay. I'm good with that.
I do ketchup. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Next question: what is the best way to burn fat? A lot of cardio or more weight training?
It's a great question, and it's actually something there's a lot of universities doing a study on right now. I just was reading a really good report about one where they're looking at just strength training by itself and how it affects fat loss. And they're kind of pushing to that idea of a better balanced or even more strength training to that side of it. Because the biggest thing is that when we're doing cardio, we're actually just burning calories in the moment. So once we stop cardio, we're not burning any more calories. When it comes to strength training, we're going to burn calories when we're out there, but then as the body recovers throughout the day and you sleep at night to rebuild that muscle, you're going to burn some more calories at that point. So in hindsight, we're actually seeing more of the strength training going to be better for weight loss.
Would that have anything to do with those the rise in HIIT classes where you burn calories after
that's
the class
the big
is
push
over.
with HIIT training, is that it actually taxes the central nervous system. It causes us to force a stronger recovery period. The great thing about HIIT is you're going to mix your cardio and your strength at the same time. So you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. So like a lot of our training sessions are HIIT-based workouts.
Yep.
I do 30 minutes of killing it.
I love it. Awesome. Next question. What are the best treadmill workouts for beginners to lose weight?
Well, that's a really good question, because often people feel like they should have to go this crazy fast pace, and after a good time they realize they're not really losing much weight. To burn body fat, visceral fat, what we're looking for is a slow, steady, controlled pace. The acronym is MISS, Moderate Intensity Sustained State. So what we're looking for is pacing that walk. It's going to be a walk, it's not a run, which is crazy to think about, but that's how we're going to use body fat as fuel.
Incline at all?
A slight incline. It's going to matter actually around your heart rate. So we use something called the Carbona method that finds your maximal theoretical heart rate. So it's 220 minus your age. That'll tell you your theoretical max.
I'm bad at math. I'm trying to do that in my head.
But then what it's going to be is about 60 to 70% of what you find.
Okay.
So based off, say, an average 30-year-old, you're going to look around 130 beats per minute, and that's as high as you want to go at that point. Once you go beyond that, we switch energy systems, so it no longer uses body fat.
That's kind of an estimate, because you could have a really active 30-year-old.
It'll change a little bit. Yeah, you have some slight differences there. But in generally speaking, it's going to be slow and steady.
Okay.
The faster pace, the HIIT training or the interval training still works, but it's not just strictly for body fat loss. So that's kind of the big thing there.
I didn't know that. I learned something new. Should I do cardio first or weight training first?
Another question I probably get daily.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. And for me, honestly, and just what I've learned with people and working people over the past 4 years, is that it really doesn't make that big of a difference for someone just trying to be healthy. Now, if we have different goals or a different structured workout setting, where we're working on sports performance or something powerlifting or athletically based, then we want to change up what we do, because we don't want to tax the cells from all their energy. So we're going to burn all our carbs by doing cardio first. But if you're just the average person, you just want to feel healthy, do whichever you prefer.
Okay.
When I talk with people, I usually tell them to do cardio first as a warm-up. Get loose and warm up, and then we'll go strength train. But then if, like I said, if we have like athletic stuff we're going to do, slight warm-up, and then we'll get right into training. So we can use all that energy in the training, and we'll use the cardio as a cool down.
So it's a bad idea if you were to do 15 minutes of the Stairmaster and then go into legs.
Not necessarily bad, you just won't get the benefit of the workout, because you're going to burn through a lot of energy in the muscles.
Okay.
The mitochondria is what holds all our energy pretty much.
Good to know, because I warm up on the Stairmaster. So
Not a bad warm-up, but don't kill yourself out there.
Okay, I'll try. Will lifting heavy weights make women bulky?
Frustrating question.
Yeah, I feel like we all get this in the fitness industry.
Anyone that works with at front desk, childcare even, I'll have them come ask me like, hey, like a mom was asking me about this. I'm like, I'll go talk to her right now. Realistically, no. It's how you train that really matters to how you define the body a little bit. So if we're doing these very low repetition with heavy weights, we're going to build a bigger body. But if we're doing a moderately heavy weight, we're going to work on toning at that point. It's really hard to get big. I've been strength training almost 15, 20 years like right now, since I've started in high school, and I have not gotten any bigger since then. And that matters around diet too. If we're upping our protein and our carbs and our fats, and then change how we train, you'll see someone get bigger. But if we're eating moderate diet, moderate weight when we're doing a workout, about 10 to 12 reps, somewhere in that range, no problem at all. You'll get that good toned look.
So women, don't be afraid to lift heavy. You can't get bulky. Next question. How long does it take to see results with a new training program?
It's going to vary a little bit, but how we kind of base what we do as far as personal trainers go is around 90 days. We see our best results in about 3 months. So we always do monthly check-ins, but we do bigger check-ins around 90 days, because that's when we see the greatest change. And then a lot of times we get somebody new, you're going to see dramatic changes month 1 to month 2. Because if you've never done anything in the past before, those first 2 months are going to be really big changes. But that's why it's also important to modify and do new types of programming at that point. Because we all heard of plateaus before. Plateaus when the body adapts a little bit. And especially in that first 2 months, we need to change it up after that, and then continue to do that to keep those results. because a lot of people do get deterred because they'll hit that point where like, yeah, I got all these results, it's awesome, and then where did it all go?
It's like that I need to lose that last 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Like I have that problem. I'm sure that
there's
people out
plenty
there
out
too.
there that do, and that's really, with personal training, that's what we do. We kind of take the guesswork out. Hey, you're done this so far, let's change it and do this now, and help you get those results you want to get to.
Another benefit is that when you have personal training, you just show up.
Yeah, also true.
And you don't have to think anything. They tell you exactly what to do.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a really
awesome.
good part.
Okay, last question. I don't know how to use a certain machine on the floor. Can I ask a trainer for help or how to use it?
100%, always. I tell anybody I meet with, grab me anytime, grab one of my trainers anytime. We're there to help. That's the biggest thing we can do is help you. We're not looking to sell you anything. We want to try and help you. If you have a question on a machine, hey, I want to do this core movement. How do I do this? If I have free time, I'll help you right away. If I have a trainer open, help you right away.
That's awesome. Yeah, we have some pretty fancy equipment out there. Hoist is a newer type of equipment. It moves with you as you're doing the exercise, so don't be afraid to ask any of our trainers for help on any machine.
The one especially that a few clubs have gotten different versions of, one is called the Booty Builder. There's a few hip thrust machines. That's one we get all the time. I don't know how to use this thing. Can you show me? I'm like, yeah, of course, I'll show you. And the nice thing is actually they have some other features to them where you can attach bands to them, add different kinds of resistance as you do the movements too. So we can show them different ways to use the same machine.
Okay, very cool. Well, that's all I have. There's one more question. It doesn't really have to do with any fitness or health, but are you hiring?
Always hiring. Honestly, we're always looking for good trainers. And that's a big reason why we have that Elevate program is because there's so many good trainers out there that we need. And so people will come to us for help, and yeah, we're always looking.
If you're interested, you can visit our website at mountainsidefitness.com/careers to apply. Thank you guys for tuning in today to our first Fit Fridays. We'll see you next week.